Ready? Hello, YouTube. Hello, McTail. Hello, Red Pills. When figured I'd leave that clip over there and still get y'all something to smile about. Now, today's topic is about a house. See, contrary to popular belief, that people seem to think that they're at the table. You know, when a lot of people ask, what do you bring to the table? We're not asking. We're not asking because you think. Well, it's not. Now, the man builds a house, builds an add-on to a house, brings an add-on to a house. All right. And just in general, decorates his house. He decorates his house with things he likes. You know, he brings furniture that he enjoys, whether it be a fat full wall, a doll, swords, antlers. He decorates his house with things he likes. When he brings somebody into his house, it's because he wants to share the things that he likes and share memories with the person he likes. A lot of people don't get that. And when he bought the house, it was originally bare. If a man has to make a house his home, what's the point of having a wife? Honestly, that's the question that I'm asking. If a man has to make his own home, what's the point of having a wife? There's the question you need to ask. The homemakers are gone in the West. You have to make your own home. That's the reality of things. Now, a lot of people think, like I said, a lot of people think they are the table. A lot of men think they are the table too, when that is far from the truth. No human being is furniture. No human being is furniture. You either walk to a table or arrive at a table or not. Again, I say this again. No human being is furniture. So get this idea of I am the table out of your head. Now, one of the things that I want to bringing to a lot of people's attention, a lot, especially women that think they are the table. A table is non-sentient, which a man can get by without a table, which a lot of women who think they're a table seem to fail to realize. A lot of women think they are the table. Again, so continue to think the table is you. You're setting yourself up. You're not the bed of the house. You're not anything. You're just a person that entered a house. Now, some of the things that we have in a house that I have that are in houses are video games. Some men like video games. Some men like weightlifting equipment. But guess what? When you bring somebody that does not enjoy the same things as you, that has a personality that's going to try to change you, you begin to lose sight of who you are. The house ceases to be yours. What makes as a man, what makes a house yours? Well, let's see. Do you pay for it? Yeah. Have you paid for it? Yes. Did you buy it? Yes. Do you live in it? Or do you just reside there? There's a difference between living and residing. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Hey, Psyche Soap. But the thing is, there's a difference between living in a house and residing in a house.
I know you can hear me.
Living in a house means that you enjoy the house or your residency. Residing there is just taking up space. Are you able to live in your house? If you're able to live in your house, then why would you want somebody in your house that is more than willing to take it away? That's the question of the day. Why would you bring somebody into your abode that is more than willing and capable of taking it away? Now, Florida put the brakes on lifetime. That's worthless. Psychs up. You know why that's worthless? You still there? Well, he's currently busy. Putting the brakes on lifetime alimony is worthless because who lives in the house? Who was awarded the house? That's the question you gotta ask. person that was awarded the house, doesn't matter if you put out, now you've basically, it's basically a land grab, you know? It's basically the equivalent of a land grab, the removal of lifetime alimony. And I'm going to tell you how. A lot of these divorcees are awarded something that they couldn't afford by themselves. They were awarded something that they couldn't afford by themselves. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's see. If you're working, you can afford something. Alimony is just basically the icing on the cake and the FU spending money. And you know, and to fornicate yourself spending money. By removal of alimony, you take away the go fornicate with yourself spending money. And now they have to pay for this house with their own merits. They have to pay for that house with their own merits. And a lot of these divorcees can't do it. I'll drop a link. A lot of these divorcees can't do it because they didn't get a job to allow them to do it. I'm just waiting for Psychosoap to pop up, you know. A lot of these people are mad. That's the only reason they're mad about the lifetime alimony being removed. Now, me, I live in a place that I can call my own, you know, and I'm with good people, you know.
People that you know, people that don't bother you. Um,
Yep.
you know, people that are drama free. That's a big one.
Right.
Drama free
Big
is
time.
big, and that's that. You know, to hell with this parasitic culture, and I'm glad that they are putting an end to it.
But
You know,
too little, too late.
because it's just one state.
That's just one state. That's just one state out of how many?
49 more, man. 49 more. 49
And
freaking more.
what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep people, they're trying to keep money into in their land. You know,
It's not a thing wrong with it at all. That's the way it was supposed to be.
they're trying to keep a GDP in their land. You know,
Okay, now what do you mean by that?
Now, excluding women with disabilities, like, excluding women with disabilities, excluding women with health conditions that don't allow them to work, that are capable of working, that are not only capable, healthy enough to work. Who's primarily in the labor force? Your electricians, your bricklayer, your masonry workers, your carpenters, your plumbers, truck drivers, pilots. Who traditionally is in the field? Who are the people that you want to keep basically working, your wheels moving, your infrastructure going? You can I get a guess? They're- They see that men are leaving the country. You know, they see that men are not getting married, younger and younger. The age is getting younger and younger. Where young men are not getting married, young men are not trying, and the numbers are growing astronomically. And they're trying to prevent that. They're trying to stop it. They're trying to either delay or stop it, and it's just one state, just one state.
There shall be more.
There shall be more
You want to be optimistic about it,
if
but
you want to.
that's what we're looking at right now as it stands.
They're said, and like they see that men are leaving the country. They're losing men. They can't, like I said, they're afraid. They've literally just put a recall on enact on IRR. Those of you who don't know what IRR is, inactive ready reserve.
Hmm.
3,000 poor blokes were called back. Now, me
Called back for what?
to active duty to reserve component. Me,
Hmm.
I'm fine. I'm past my IRR. I could literally leave the military with with a DD 214 with an honorable discharge, and they can't do nothing. You know, they could have basically tried that years ago, and there wouldn't be a dang on thing they could do.
Hmm.
I could walk right now with DD 214 in hand, and they can't stop me unless something really bad happens. Unless we're getting invaded. But for the most part, a lot of these men are celebrating the removal of lifetime alimony in Florida. They brought these people in their homes, in their houses, the homes that they built, the homes that they gave up. Now, I don't know if anybody here has been married before, but I've never been married. But from observation, it starts out, oh, this is a nice house. Nice house for who? JR. Nice house for me, nice house for them. But the thing is, you brought this person to share the things that you enjoy because you thought this person was going to enjoy them with you. Brought them in there. You got your brain screwed out to Johnson.
and now you're slowly selling your stuff. And next thing you know, you got live, laugh, love in your goddamn freaking in every freaking or plastered on every corner of your house with some sort of useless decoration that it has absolutely nothing to do with function, like tchotchkes or something of that nature.
And that is just sad.
And I always said this: better them than me. Better them than me. And they always have this excusing. Oh, you'll find, like I said, somebody will come in your life, and they will change your way of thinking. I got two things to say about that one. First one is you can wish in one hand, crap in the other, and bet on the wrong thing to fill up faster. And the next thing I'm going to say is make me an offer I can't refuse.
But they pretty much will be, you know, once the
Look,
fix is in, of course.
once a what?
Once the fix is in, yeah.
Look, I was driving back home from a shopping center from a place, and I saw this chick walking around with a little black dress, and my first reaction is nope, nope, not gonna be me. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she's doing with that little black dress. I don't know where she's going with that little black dress, but she is not getting into my car.
And a lot of people, and a lot of people think it starts just by going out and beating people or bringing the person into your house. It starts with your car. You know, it starts by allowing the person into your car because you made it the choice to stop and talk to said person. You know, you made a choice to stop and talk to said person. You know what? It's Saturday, and I have nowhere else to go. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in this place of residency. Pull out one of these solo cups. No, it's a little dark, but that's about to change pretty soon. I'm gonna go in this place of residency. Pull out one of these here solo cups. Ah, there it is. And pull up this here bar. And you know what? Which one I want? Do I want the E and J, or do I want the Maker's Mark? No, Jolly Walker.
Oh, that reminds me, I need to freshen up mine.
That smells good. Ooh. Smells real good. Oh, oh, smells pretty nice. Maybe two ice cubes do. And there we go. Hey there, buddy. Coda. Before y'all start to get to planning, oh, you're supposed to drink that in a glass. My house,
My drink. Piss off. My house. My drink. Piss off. Oh. Mm. Mm. Oh yeah. It's good stuff right there.
And me, it might be a little, on the fruity side to some of you, but cranberry juice and absolute Vodka is my choice with a few little ice slushies in it. And to make it interesting, let me take this Ambien real quick.
Yep.
See what happens.
I mean, I would. That's not. That's. I mean, yeah, I'm not that. I'm not that adventurous.
Oh, I am. That's why I'm so. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
But the thing is, I filled the house. We filled our house with things that we enjoy. You know, we filled our house. We filled our home with books of all sorts of genres.
Pictures and decorations and art, things like that. And heck, even degrees if you have them, signs if you have them, licenses if you have them, which I do, awards if you got them, cool little posters if you got them. So what if you're an adult? You can have posters.
Right.
Shit. What else? Basically things that coincide with your own identity.
Right. And when you see your identity being sold off and thrown out,
Taken apart piece by piece, my man.
right.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Oh, you just didn't find the right woman.
It starts off with an innocent toothbrush in your bathroom that isn't yours.
And you, like I said, like, gotta get that toothbrush out of here. Nah, lady, nah, sweetie, you can't bring that toothbrush here. This ain't your personal area, free Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Innocent toothbrush. Mm, mm. It's good. Golly. Ah. The innocent toothbrush. Then again, then it graduates into something. Another small thing like the purse, the panties. You know,
Other things are hers, and then it graduates to
her.
shower curtains, furniture, rearranged furniture, and shit of that nature.
like I said, we got our front. I got my furniture set up already. I ain't moving nothing.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Oh, I
why,
think
man, you preserve that. You know,
the only time it gets moved is if it gets cleaned under.
absolutely.
Oh, I think this couch look better over here. No, I think it look better over here. Look here. Form over function. I mean, function over form. Function over fashion. That's how
Mhm.
it is. I mean, eventually the furniture gets rearranged out the front door. You know,
Mhm.
and replaced with her furniture.
Some fellas, it has them move the original furniture to a Salvation Army or a Goodwill or it to a storage. You know,
then the house ceases to be yours. Congratulations.
absolutely.
I was gonna say, or in the end, she just takes the house and you end up living out of the storage.
That is correct.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places and there's plenty of Goodwills and Salvation Armies over there with donated furniture. The owner of the house necessarily didn't have to die, or
Mhm.
you know, owner of the house didn't necessarily die. He was just removed from it
Yep.
and then was relegated to either the attic, the basement, or the garage.
Yeah, I'm reminded of a quick story I want to share with you guys. This is already an old story from like 6 years ago or 8 years ago. You guys remember that story in Spain? There was this young guy, or I don't know why he reminds me of you, Red Pill in the Wind. I think because he was in the military. He was in the military right after high school, and then whatever, at 21 or 22, he leaves the military. He becomes a trucker. He becomes a trucker in Spain. Saves. He buys this beautiful, uh, what's it called? Essentially a condo on the ocean. Not like some crappy, $200,000 house. Think like four, maybe $500,000. Real nice, real posh, real expensive. Works real hard, feverishly for whatever 4 or 5 years, pays it off.
Mhm.
So he's set. I mean, this guy's in his you know upper 20s, maybe 26, 27. He's got a paid off posh condo. He's doing great. He meets this woman, and then whatever. I guess he decides to move her in.
That's his
This is
first mistake.
this is
Second
after he bought the condo, after the condo is paid off. It's all documented. He had a good military. What's it called? What do you call it when you honorable discharge?
Yep.
He had a good record. Everything, no problems, no criminal record, nothing. Buys this condo, pays it off, meets this broad. Next thing you know, he moves her in. After 3 months, she accuses him of some sort of domestic violence. The court orders him to vacate his house, his condo. He has to pay for her lawyer. He's got to pay for his lawyer. He has to pay for the fees for her lawyer. They end up awarding the condo to her, and he literally ends up hungry and homeless on the streets. And he worked his ass off for like 6 or 7 years to pay off this wonderful, you know, I think posh. I'm not talking about some little hole in the wall. I think like basically luxurious, you know, on the ocean, you know, and it just doesn't make any sense. How can you how it's all documented. He bought everything. He paid every cent of this property. How they just steal. They're just
Oh boy.
the whole thing is a scam. The whole thing's a scam.
It's called court appointed thievery. You know, it only happens when women can get away with it. You know, it only see when it only happens when the birth rate is in the positive. It never happens when the birth rate is going down. Birth rate going down is panic territory. It's governmental panic to try to uplift the birth rate.
Yeah, no, yeah, I hear you. I just it's stories like that just it makes me think like I mean it's just so wildly out of control. He documented, this
He
is my
worked.
property. I bought this property. I paid it off. He was making double payments, he was making triple payments. This woman comes in for a couple of weeks and legally just steals everything.
I would never bring a woman into my house or my home that has not that I don't know I can't trust. You know,
Yeah.
and if we're doing anything, it's going to be at her place, not mine. Her place.
Yeah, no, it all comes down to the laws. Men men have basically been we've been subjugated again. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and the laws are only in effect as long as there's people to enforce it. Laws are in effect until men are starting to start backing out, and then you have these people. Hey, Psychic Soap, turn your, if you ain't chilling your face, turn your camera off. If you ain't got a mask on, I don't want your identity. You know.
Your camera's on, Psyche. Oh, I think he's wearing a mask.
Okay.
He's wearing a physical mask.
Okay. Cool.
It took me a second to notice because it's rather dim in that room. Okay, yeah, he's wearing a mask. Yeah, it is what it is. And it reminds me of hockey mask time right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. It's a terrible situation. Then you bring up DeSantis, That's a perfect example of the government knows what's going on. The reason why they did this, I think, I surmise that DeSantis did that because he knows or he sees that he's having a problem getting men to marry, and he knows that by ending lifetime alimony, that will get more men to sign up for marriage. And it's like they try to manage us like, I don't know, like cattle, like animals.
They try to like cattle.
Yeah, like cattle. Yeah, like animals. Yeah, like we're farm creatures.
Come on,
Make babies so that I can tax them.
Give me a child, and I can show you my future tax recipient. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just all weird.
The thing is, it's DeSantis is doing it out of desperation for the future.
His voting base.
It's not just his voting base. It's not so much his voting base.
The majority of them are women anyway, though, Wind. Ah?
I know.
Yeah. Shit.
I know.
It's insane.
It's basically he sees what's going on, and a lot of these women don't see it until it's too late. They won't see it until it's too late. And he sees it because, believe it or not, these politicians know about the red pill. They know about MGTOW.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think they know all about us. Actually, I think they are very well attuned to what we're about and what we want. But I also think that they're, let me give you an example. I have a friend. I should not say have. I had a friend. We sort of had a falling out. He was running for a U.S. representative here in Illinois, here in the 55th district.
Mm-hmm.
He was a man in my age, university educated. He was a little bit older, and we became friends. And he was the most astute. Just talking about politics, he was the most astute person I've ever met about politics. This guy, wow, he knew more about politics than he had been involved in politics all his life, and he had already run for office. He had met senators and congressmen and all this, and he would tell me, He's like, yeah, I know, because in the course of our friendship, I told him I was a MGTOW and I'm a content creator and blah 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 blah, and he confided in me. He's like, yeah, all the politicians know about this, but it's political suicide to openly and publicly talk about these issues because frankly, they bother women's sensibilities, and you can't win a major election today without pandering to women. Period. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But they all know. They all know, and it's strange. It's bizarre. They all know that slowly we're sort of just circling the drain, and everything's going to shit. The politicians know everything's going to shit. They don't know how to stop it. It's like it's built in. It's what's that term?
Much like being in a
baked in the dough.
nightmare. Much like being in a nightmare, but powerless to wake up from it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like it's already kneaded into the dough. It's already baked in the cake.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
If you really look at it, that if a person it was at one point that if a person went to jail, they lose the right to vote, right?
Well, that being a felon does that. Yeah.
Being a felon. Now, with being a felon, you lose your right to vote. And who are mostly the felons? Men. Now, I want to say this. Society has taught men that women are sugar and spice and everything nice. Social media and looking around you has debunked that. Severely debunked that.
Those that claim it the most have the same device that exposes them anyway. I mean, they debunk their own shit.
Right.
Anyway.
You just gotta wait long enough for them to get their point across. Or lack thereof.
Oh, wait a moment for the blowback or backlash to come.
And then they're going to want the government to do something about that.
Absolutely.
Oh, men are not marrying me. Men are not marrying me. We need to force these men to marry. Out of threat of prosecution. And a lot of
that's what they're gonna do. Watch, you mark my word. It's gonna get that bad. They're gonna start. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that real short? It was short but sweet. That short interview with what was it? I think Tucker Carlson. And he was talking with one of the two senators of the state of Missouri. I think his name is Hawley, Senator Hawley.
Josh Hawley. Yeah.
Senator Hawley was at some like a town hall meeting or something, and he started openly and publicly berating men. And he was saying, "Yeah, you men, it's all men's fault. You're looking at porn. Why don't you go ask a girl out physically?" And
yeah, I remember him saying that bullshit 6 months back.
Look at me. What do you think is going to happen if I ask a girl out?
No. See, he knows that. He knows that. He knows the controller level people, these high government officials, they know, but they're never, and I mean never, they're never going to come out on our side and say, you women, you gotta cut these men some slack. You gotta stop all the false accusations, all this out of control behavior. You gotta stop. They're never gonna say that. They can't. It's political suicide. So they're gonna keep attacking us, and then things are just gonna get worse. I don't even know how this. I imagine that there is. You can think of it as a collapse scenario where it's like, I don't know. Just no one's gonna have
Make,
kids.
make
House of
me an
Cards.
offer. Make me an offer I can't refuse.
And it'll get to that.
It will. It will.
You
In
have a
our
lot
life.
of Corleones in this motherfucker, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess you only get one pop out of a dead body.
Mhm.
You know, you
Well,
only
I
get
think
one.
I think what will happen is we're going to see kind of what we've been seeing. We're going to see a slow slide every year. I mean, I say slow. Years are, I guess, long, but you're
Yeah.
just going to see this slow slide into things are just going to get worse and worse and worse. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I know it sounds terrible. We need to take away women's right to vote in so many ways that would fix society. But and we need to start controlling female sexuality. Men need to have some control over female sexuality if they want us to pay for
The way I see it,
consequences.
the way I see it, at this point, we need to let it collapse.
Right. That's what
Let
I
them shit
think.
in the woods.
I think that's
Let
the only
them.
way.
You let them shit in the woods a couple times. They'll come around.
Has to get worse before it gets better, right?
Right. You
Yeah, I
have to
think it's
make.
going to get much worse. Here,
Right.
let me give you another example. There's some real cute girls that have recently been showing a lot of interest in me. I truck red pill in the wind. What do you prefer that I call you, by the way? Red or wind or red
Doesn't
pill?
matter.
Doesn't
Just
matter. Okay, I'll just
wind,
call you
red
red pill in the
pill,
wind.
wind.
Yeah. Um. So one of they send me all over, but one steady account that I always run, one run that I always do that they've been giving me now for months is I drive to Joliet, Illinois.
Oh,
Joliet, yeah, and they have Caterpillar. Have you ever heard of Caterpillar?
yep. Cats.
Mm-hmm.
We call them
Yeah,
cats.
cats. Yeah, yeah. Heavy machinery and such. And it's my biggest load. It's my biggest run of the day. And I'll take it to O'Hare Airport. They ship it around the world. Anyway, there's a number of warehouses over there. I'm not going to say which one. It doesn't matter. But yeah, there's one that I go to basically every day, and there's a ton, and I mean a ton. I mean at this point maybe 60% of the entire workforce of this warehouse are Hispanic, Spanish speaking, and particularly this particular plant, or this I should say warehouse, this particular warehouse has a ton of Venezuelans, people from Venezuela, and I would say most of them are women. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
50-50 split. It's probably like a 60-40.
I remember same state about 10 years ago. It was Honduran. So it's like a mix of Central American, Latin American countries
Yeah.
that do come to Illinois and work. Everywhere
Mhm.
there's a fucking air conditioner or a heater, there will be a female there. Yeah. But what's up?
Yeah, no, I mean that's basically the story. I mean they're all looking for husbands. I mean these are very traditional women. And they're all very beautiful. I mean they're they're very attractive, and they're all young, 18, 19, 20, early
They don't
20s.
understand yet. They don't understand that American women have destroyed American men to the point to where they don't want to be.
Right? This is what I'm saying. I was just about to say that independently of you. They're sort of like perplexed by me because well, a couple of them have taken interest in me and they don't understand why I'm not more forward, if that makes any sense. Why they're used to men just approaching them and just saying, "Hey, what's up?" Let's do this thing.
Not
But I'm much
coming
more.
on to them. Yeah.
I'm not constantly coming on to them, but they're not used to that. They're from a totally different culture. You know.
And the thing is like when a culture they put word, they send back word to their other constituents about the culture that they're in. Eventually, one of them's going to get to realizing that, hey, these American women destroyed these men, and now we have to fix them.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I
Ooh.
wouldn't say I feel destroyed. I would say it's
Or
like a once bitten, twice smitten. I just you know
Basically, you've got to remove the venom from their body, and then you've got to heal a wound. You know,
And also
I
to
mean,
keep in mind too, I mean, being that they did come from Venezuela and Venezuela was it was or is how whoever depending on who you ask is still communistic.
still socialistic, communistic.
right.
The
How
thing
you
is
think their
like
country collapsed?
let's see, I'm already dead. I remember when I was saying I'm already dead for the longest.
Yeah.
Now, one of the ways that I'm already dead, the fact is like I'm a single man. I ain't got no kids. I don't, and there's no wives. On top of that, I'm in my 30s, mid to late 30s. How many good years do I have? That's the question I face. How many good years of health, of decent health, do I have before my health begins to fail?
Oh no.
Sure. At least 20, maybe 30. Probably
If,
probably less than 40.
Mm.
like I said, less than 40. Them years add up, come up quickly, very quickly. And
Sure, sure.
you go to sleep one day, next thing you know, you're 45, you're 60, you're getting ready to retire. You're getting ready to retire if it's still there. You're getting ready
Yeah,
to.
yeah, right. No, it's hard to believe. I turned 40. I turned 40 this year. I don't
We're
even know where the years went. You know.
right, and you wait. Like I said, some years will add up quickly. So, and with that, I'm 40. I'm getting ready to enter the magical age of 40.
I'm there. Come on
Right,
in. The water's fine.
right. And it's like if I go with somebody my age, I would be disgusted with myself. And I've said this before. I both know and don't know where the women my age have been at the same doggone time. I grew up with these people, you know?
Yeah, I would if I was you, I would definitely consider dating Latin women. Like you remember some months ago, I'm pretty sure it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you, and I know it was True Sherm was. I remember distinctly that True Sherm was in the conversation. I was saying that uh, we should have a MGTOW meetup in the Dominican Republic, and I'm not kidding about that. I really think that we should do that. I actually plan on doing that and bringing a couple of people along. Um, I'm telling you, I'm
My
telling you, man, these
yeah,
You
my
Latin
still
women
on
are
that shit,
totally
big guy?
different.
my
Can't
advice
wait.
to you, my advice to you is if you're going to do that, own property where you're going to meet up.
No. That's not necessary. I mean, maybe in a long term, yeah. In fact, I'm as I get older, I'm thinking I may want to retire in Latin America, particularly a place like South Sua, Dominican Republic.
For
Um,
me,
you know, I mean, again, like I was saying, these Venezuelan girls, it's almost it's like a microcosm of culture shock. I walk into that building, and the girls there are just they're extremely um, what we would consider traditional. They're not loud. They're not
no,
obnoxious. They're not bossy. They're very feminine. They're all skinny. They're all young. It's amazing. It's
for
literally
me,
like
there's another reason why I say that I'm already dead is I was destroyed I was destroyed and put back together multiple times. I was destroyed at a young age and put back together at a young age throughout my life. You know, my elementary school life, I was destroyed. By the time I entered fifth grade, I was beginning to understand that I need that for the rest of my life, I would need to maintain a certain mindset of don't bother looking because it will be just this, it would be nothing but disappointment. And throughout middle school and high school, I was training my mind not to look. You know, I was training my mind that oh, this chick's showing her stomach. Don't look behind you. Don't rubberneck. And elementary school, I learned in elementary school, in and out of school, I began to understand my place, and I decided that you know what, I'm not gonna bother hurting myself, and I'm not gonna look. You know, and it came up went to the military and put in the friend zone twice, destroyed 3 times.
Well, again, like I said, I think that part of that is we're in America. America's very, it's like
Now,
what's that?
I'm gonna tell you a little something about women from other countries. From what I understand, once they get that green card, it's a wrap.
Well, yeah, but I really think you're looking I mean, green card. What are you talking about? You trying to get married to these girls? No, no.
Oh,
I'm talking about
oh,
sex tourism, man. I'm talking about like living like a second lifestyle where you're here in the states. You're here in the states, and then 2 months out of the year, you're 3 hours by plane in a tropical paradise, and you're literally having sex with new women every weekend.
look here.
And and I mean, yeah, if you want to go crazy, you fall in love with one of them. You get them like what's that called, a tourist visa to come and visit you in the states. They can only stay 90 days, and they got to go
What?
back, and you put them up in an extended stay hotel or something if you want to go crazy like that. I'm not saying that. I'm
Now,
talking about I'm talking about hardcore MGTOW. There is no marriage, there is no cohabitation. Um, you get rich here, you retire early over there. Meanwhile, you got to get your passport. Passport bros. We know what we're saying.
yeah. The thing is like when you're emotionally destroyed, what does that affect physically on your body?
Right, right. I understand what you're saying. Okay, what I'm saying to you is, okay, go through that suffering, but essentially it's what's that called? The catharsis. Go through that catharsis. Just say, okay, crash and burn, right? Crash and burn, and then you'll be smoldering for a couple years. That's suffering, and then you rise up again. You become like me, become a raging sociopath that doesn't love women anymore. Come on, you know what we're doing. You know what this is about. Come on, Red Pill in the Wind.
I'm already a psychopath. I mean, I'm not a psychopath, so to say. So the thing is, like, I already know that I'm not a confirmed psychopath yet. The thing is like, for me, it's along the lines of, you know, how a part on a car, in these modern cars, if one part, like a brake light goes tits up, or like a one sensor goes bad, it begins to spread to the other parts of the car. Like
the drivetrain, because now your car is dialed down, and now you're bogging down the
Right.
drivetrain. The human
Right.
body, the human mind can do amazing things, can destroy certain parts of the body that don't get used. Like if you were emotionally and mentally destroyed as a kid, throughout your entire life, and certain parts of your body were neglected, it would take years, if not decades, of some sort of physical therapy to get that part to work again, to work correctly again. You know, to work with a visual synapses, to work with a
Oh,
visual
you
stimulus.
just bring up you just brought up the word synapse. Yeah, yeah. I
The
mean,
thing
there have been studies to show that the majority of men who suffer from so-called ED or erectile dysfunction, there's actually nothing wrong with them physically.
but
However,
mentally,
they have some sort of typically like psychosexual damage where they're not turned on by women. But it's not because they're gay or anything. It's because essentially what you're describing is they've been going through, or they have gone through some sort of like weird trauma, which like they're not, they're they're not turned on by the women around them anymore.
and it's like I said, I've been, and it's like I said, it's like that's the damage that a lot of men have been facing. I'm probably one of the few ones that will admit it.
Well, to that again, I would say try it out, man. You make enough money as a trucker. Truckers make good money. Get your passport, man. Go to. We should plan the trip right now. Let's do it this year. If not this year, let's do it next year. Let's meet up in Santo Domingo, man. They got flights every week. They got flights probably every day out of here in Chicago, out of Chicago.
I mean,
Everything's cheap. Everything's cheap.
you know, but the thing is, like for me, it's like I don't know if that would actually work for me. I mean, I have to wait for my vacation days to kick in, but still,
Yeah, but it's trucking. I mean, you could put in your 2 week notice and so called quit, quit so to speak. Come right back. You'd be hired right away. Trucking companies
this
they'll hire
Johnny,
you in a day.
this Johnny Walker is incredibly good.
That's good. I drank 3 beers last or three hard ciders last night. I think I'm gonna go buy
That's
some
right.
more, some Angry Orchard or some hard apple shit.
You understand what I'm saying. Like I said, there's a lot of things that have, like I said, this that's a, I don't think the amount that I would be there, it would take me years, if not decades, of going back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you say that, but you'd be surprised how quickly people can, uh, I don't know, what's the term, overcome or maybe let's use the term reintegrate into a happier self. I don't know. I think if you went to a totally different environment and the women were totally different, and you had the prospect of having sex, in you know the first weekend you're there, I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe
All right.
I really think
How
you should give.
many
I really
incidents?
think you should give it a try. Here, look. Let,
Hmm?
let, let me give you an example. I like using examples. You don't know this because I have the camera off. I actually have a woman here right now,
Hmm.
literally in my
Okay.
apartment. She just
Okay.
got up. She just got up and went to the bathroom to smoke another cigarette. Well,
Hmm.
I've been banging all night. Okay,
Hmm.
but I know what you're saying. I went through a period too where I was just like, oh my god, I just can't. I can't. You know, I trust me. Trust me, your
How
body
long did,
wants to get better. Your mind wants to get better. You just need to. I'm telling you, man, get that passport, man. Have you
how
guys been
long did
watching?
it
Have
take
you guys
you?
been watching Mr. Have you guys been seeing Mr. Elite? And how he? Have you guys been watching Mr. Elite lately? He's making a
Yeah.
lot of shorts. It's all about passport bros, passport
The
bros.
thing is, Mr. Elite is getting ready to go to an employment field that
Hmm.
is going to make is going to make him more money than me, believe it or not. Like he's getting ready to be a ship handler,
Hmm.
Yeah,
essentially a
right. You
ship
saw it. I don't know
captain.
if you saw. I'm assuming at least maybe one of you probably saw. He recently obtained his what's it called? The Merchant Marine credential,
Yep, the merchant marine credential.
Hmm.
which is like the international standard. It's the Merchant Marine passport essentially, and so he can but he's just doing that. Like obviously he wants to make money, but he's also doing that to travel and bang chicks because he's going to be in different parts of the world now.
Right. The thing is like for every incident, it adds how many months, how many weeks, based
Oh, I
depending
don't, I don't, I don't understand you.
like every instance of trauma. How much
Oh
time?
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it also depends on like how long the trauma has been had, and also you have to keep in mind that each person is different. Like um, it does seem to me a lot of MGTOW type men tend to be empaths, and that is to say that we experience emotion stronger than other people, for better or for worse. So maybe I think I do believe that MGTOW are essentially we're actually very sensitive men. We're not weak. We're just emotionally sensitive. We're not
I've
weak. We're not weak. We're actually strong. I think. But
I've always when I basically once I entered middle school, I learned that I've basically stopped showing emotion. You know, I've always kept a calm demeanor. I mean, the angrier I got, the more professional I got. You know, the angrier I got, the calmer I got. You know, like I'm not angry right now. I'm just
no, I'm not saying you're angry. I think you're very much yearning for connection. Like I'm sorry to psychoanalyze you, but like
I don't have the patience. You know, I really don't. Because the second my heart rate gets up, my blood pressure gets elevated, I'm out. It's a wrap. You know, for me, that's for me. I don't let anybody elevate me to
yeah,
the
but
point where
that's not entirely true either because like for example, I remember many months ago, probably at this point close to a year ago, I remember advising you to not show your face. You made this I consider it a mistake, but whatever. It's your it's every man's decision.
I
You say you run away. Not really. It really you made a conscious decision to start showing your face. That's not
yeah,
because you're running away. It's no. I'm telling you. I'm sorry to psychoanalyze you. I think
it's
I think you just
more it's more along the lines of I want to see who I want to see who's going to base it's more like a psychological game I like to play with some people, see, okay, who's going to make me an offer I can't refuse. Is it before the government does? I know the first thing foremost, I know the government knows exactly what I look like. The government knows exactly
that's
what I look
fine.
like.
I wouldn't be worried about that. I'd be much more worried about people at your job, someone finding out about your political beliefs, and then you know they can try to railroad you out and say you
Politics.
hate women or something, and then all of a sudden you have questions to answer in HR.
I live
That's
with
the
my
main.
sister. I mean, I can't. I mean, I live with my sister. The thing is, like, now let me explain to you the dynamics that I've had between me and my sister. My sister has watched my back, and I've watched hers. You know, my sister has defended me, and I've defended her. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Hey,
where
man, that's good, man.
where
That's
I
good. Look,
where
what I'm saying is, you need some pussy, man. You need some pussy.
and look,
You know what I mean?
I've gotten along this fine without it. I can
But
go a
you're
little
not
bit
fine.
longer.
You're telling me right now, like you feel so like just emotionally, just negatively imprinted by all these negative experiences with women. Like it's, you know.
Look, at this point in my life, I'm content with where I'm at. I mean, it is what it is.
I don't know. You don't come off as content, is what I'd say.
Well, I mean, I got a nice place to live.
That's good. That's good.
Quiet,
I've
peaceful.
had this same conversation. I've had the same argument with people like Hammerhand. Hammerhand pushes the idea, and I'm not showing any disrespect on Hammerhand. This is one area that him and I totally disagree on. He says, yeah, men, especially young men, they should pursue a monk lifestyle. They should not be pursuing sex. I disagree with him. I think that that's I think that that is emotionally and psychologically unhealthy for men, especially young men. And I would classify you as still young, where you're going to have a sexual libido. So that's ultimately what I'm saying is, however you do it, man. I tell all the young men, get pussy. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't listen.
The thing is,
Don't.
for me, is like I don't think. I think that I don't want to bring somebody into my life. Well, for the thing is, I don't have to basically just stick with that one person. True, I know that, you know. And yes, am I holding on to things? Like, to a degree, yes, I am holding on to things. But guess what? I'm not holding on to the point where every time I think about it, it's gonna piss me off, you know. And for me, the thing is like it's just I'm. Oh, dang, what happened? But the thing is like I'm content, you know. I'm content.
I promise you, I am. Because look, I don't have what Wind is experiencing, but as of lately, I don't. You know, it'll be every now and again. Yeah, I'd say twice a month or whatever. But my work is what I threw myself into. You know what I'm saying? It's become the the companion to me, you know, because it is what puts food on my table, literally puts food on my table. It gets gas in my ride. It gets, you know, medicine in my body if I'm feeling sick, you know. That's what it's done for me. Now, pussy, a mere few minutes of slippery friction, you know, ain't gonna never add up to success in my career. Now, it's better for a man than it ever can be for a female. See, when a man gets that type of a success, he thinks of building something. When a woman gets that type of a success, she wants to sabotage something or gets depressed about even achieving the shit and wants to take her own self out. So no, you know, been there, done that. I'm in my 40s. Yes, I'm in my 40s. It don't sound like it, but it is. It's true. September 16th, 1980. You know what I'm saying? So fooling around with Lisa over here or Pam over there or Angela or Renee over there, you know, make no mistake, it's fun. Hell yeah. Been there too.
It sounds like you need an around the way girl.
Well,
Lisa, Angela, Pamela,
Pamela,
Renee,
Renee, you know what I'm
love
saying?
around the way.
I had to put that in there, drop that sample in there for you. But no, man. I mean, unlike LL, I don't need that type of love. You know what type of love really just
Yeah, but then he's
gets
got
me to
another
cry
song.
uncontrollably?
But
Hold
then
up. Hold
he's got
on.
another song
Hear me
called
out.
Doing It Wild. So I mean, which one
He
is
said,
it?
well, but I know what you mean. Uh but that's what I was saying. Now hear me out. The romantic love doesn't get me, and I know you're not about, that romantic love shit. So make no mistake, that's not you. I know it. I know that's not what either of you guys are on. I'm speaking for me over here. Family love is great, but it's extra harmful when, this family member does such and such to betray your trust. So family love, it's great when it's great for Christmas and funerals, but it's not great all the time. Um, there's romantic love, very flawed, highly conditional. You know what I'm saying? Okay, then there's unconditional love, and that's love between yourself and your kids. I have a child, but I haven't seen my child in goodness knows when, you know? And when we would when we would kick it together, there was that type of love too that kept my heart beating in a good way. But the love right now, that I find to be just the utmost for me, just the greatest for me is brotherly love. Brotherly love.
Well, in that case, that's questionable because my brother is a complete and utter goddamn bonehead.
But
You
it's
know?
not love amongst your blood related brother that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, true. It's like
Brothers in arms if it's military, you know what I'm saying? Because, I, you know, speak with veterans every other day, and kick it with them every other day. I'll kick it with Father Saunders out here, here in these interwebs and shit. And as
right,
well as out here on the offline tip. There's, you know, brotherly love that I can find amongst teammates and at work, even though some of them are bonehead Generation Z ninnies, you know, somewhere in there, you reach a goal, and that's where a lot of that comes in. Brotherly love is what's doing it for me at this time in my life because that's all I got, you know.
right. Like like I said, for me, it's a mix of being around family members that I can trust and brotherly love.
That's all
You
you
know,
got.
and as I said before, my sister has watched my back since we were little. Has never stabbed me in the back. Has never screwed me over. You know, and 30 something years later, I haven't, she has never done that. Leave it. She's never done that. I got lucky. A lot of other men aren't as lucky. You know, Look at Screw. I mean, look at Screwhead situation. I don't know if you know Screwhead.
Oh man,
Look at
that
Screwhead.
is a name I haven't heard in a long time. How's he been?
He's trying. He's trying. He's going. He's trying to get. He's getting into the right direction. But the thing is like it's difficult for him because of the situation. He's working on getting his. He's working on getting himself in a better circumstances. It's just taking him incredibly long to do it. It's incredibly difficult for him to do it.
Going nowhere
Let's walk.
slow. I know the feeling.
But I guarantee you that as soon as he gets it in, he's gonna take. It's gonna take off for him. You know, it's gonna completely and utterly take off for him. And Coda, let's walk. And the thing is, it's like it's just leave it, leave it. The thing is like it's frustrating him. It pisses him off thoroughly. You know,
It
and I
can.
understand it. He's younger than me, and basically his mom's the typical single mother.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
Many of
his
us have
mom is
those.
right. I was lucky enough that my mom and my dad were both married from death do you part. You know, that's why when I put that video out saying when they said when from Mr. Elite saying name me 3 married people, my mom was one of them. Think about that. My mother was one of them. My grandmother was one of them. One of my aunts were one of them. My great grandmother was one of them. You know,
Because they were around in the time, and dare I make a guess that for
that's
the
what
black community, I hate saying that, but that was at a time where the black community's marriage rates were up and above and beyond all other cultural and racial groups. They were from that generation.
right. And for me, it's like I was raised with. I was like I said, one of the reasons why I'm so against putting a mother-in-law, whether she hates me or not, in a nursing home, is because I was raised with at least two generations in the same household. I remember living with my grandmother and my grandfather in the same house. Was a World War II veteran.
Hmm.
You know, alongside with my mom and my dad. I remember that. So that leaves an impression on a young man saying, "Hey, if you're going to do it,
Do it right.
do it right the first time." Now, my dad didn't do it right the first time, so which also solidifies my decision on marriage because it took my dad 3 times. You know, took my dad 3 times. One of them wasn't marriage, but the other two,
Same with my dad. Yeah, yours is
and
not the
I'm
only
I'm
time.
look- and I'm looking at my brother. It took
Yeah.
him more than 3 times. And if it took him more than 3 times, and we're only almost a generation apart, generation or some odd apart, how many times is it gonna take me?
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, for that fact, the amount of I will freely admit that I've been through trauma. I've been through some crap. I've been through whatever. You know, I'm not willing enough to
put myself in a situation to where all this stuff would come out, to where I can really put myself in a bad situation. I'm not willing to do it. Now, like I said, I already know that I'm basically, I would be the clinical test bunny of the little blue pill, because people tell me I need to go to a therapist, and I'm not gonna do it because I'm not gonna pay somebody who does not give two flying fucks about me, new two flying fornicates about me. This is the first time in a long time I've cursed on my channel. You know, but I'm not gonna willingly pay somebody who does not give two flying fornicates about me to basically tell me, prescribe me something that works robotically. You know, not gonna do it. Not gonna do.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You know, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You can get a BJ in Mexico. It's legal. Prostitution is legal in Mexico. You can get a BJ for $20. You can get a BJ in Colombia for $10. You can get a BJ in Vietnam for $5. You can get a blowjob in Cambodia for $1. I'm telling you, like,
Sucky.
yeah, no, I mean, you should definitely try at least once. Try going to a foreign country and just see how the culture is different, and you'll like it. I'm sure of it.
I've been to Jordan on a deployment, you know, and I will freely admit, the worst one of their women will blow America. I mean, these American women don't understand that the worst one of the Jordanians will blow the best Americans out the water, and they don't use makeup.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, there's also that. Like, now that's just a personal embarrassment of our country. That's just a
Well, yeah,
like
look into it
women.
though, man. I mean, that would be an interesting, group of cultures to probably look at. A little interesting group of cultures, an interesting group
sort of.
of ladies,
Well,
might I add. You know what I'm saying? The Middle Easterners and the
sort of.
those that are in the Fertile Crescent, if you will.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I would not recommend starting by going there. I would definitely recommend going to
Leave it.
Latin America first, and I would actually put the Middle East as probably the last place to escort Max. I would say the best place would probably be Southeast Asia, like Thailand,
But
of course, or the Philippines.
the
But
funny thing about it,
I'd say, well, I'm sorry, what now?
you know what makes me laugh is men from the UAE.
Mhm.
And I've said it before, and I've said this something like this before. Coda, leave it, leave it, leave it. I've said this before. Men from other countries do not come to America to find a wife.
Right. No one's checking. No one's checking for American women. American men leave America to find other women. Foreign men do not come here looking for American women.
Right.
Oh no.
I've said it before, and I'm gonna
If
say it again.
anything, American women, at least rich American
So,
women, they go to other countries to try to find. They do their version of sex tourism. It's how Stella got her groove back.
it's out of sisterhood of the crusty pants.
Hey, Janet Jackson did it with a Saudi Arabian prince.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
are they married? No.
No, been divorced.
Right. And she didn't get nothing out of the deal.
Well, that's not true.
What?
she got a kid out of the deal, and he got a kid out the deal. It was written into the marriage contract that if he gives her a kid and stays married with her, was it 2 years or 3 years? She gets I can't remember how much it was. I think it was $400 million, and that's exactly what happened. She stayed with him literally the day after she contractually fulfilled the agreement,
The
and
thing is,
she had a kid. She was out, and she was
Soda,
$400 million richer.
the thing is like what I want to say is like women do not $400 million versus comfort. Logically, you would take comfort for the rest of your life. Am I wrong?
What are you talking about? To a woman, that is comfort. $400 million is a lot of comfort, man.
Eventually, money runs out.
Yeah, I mean, not really though. When you have that much money, you just invest it, and then that money makes you a constant, steady stream of more money, and so it never runs out.
If they're
If
smart.
you are smart about it, I was just about to say
If you're smart about it.
that. For real, for real. I mean, ever
If
notice one thing, man? Like, when a man wins the lottery, he builds all sorts of shit. He does what you had just described, McJack Cowboy. And when a female wins the lottery, she gets to destroying shit, buying
right,
up shit,
Right, right,
tearing
right,
shit
right,
up, you know,
right,
all
right,
sorts
right.
of things.
Yeah,
so
TFM a month ago. He brought that up. There was a study in Sweden that showed when a man wins the lottery, he's statistically much more likely to
so
what?
leave it.
To get married. When a
Mm.
woman wins the
Drop it.
lottery, she's statistically much more likely to what?
What's it?
Leave her husband.
Hmm.
Drop it.
That's another way of looking at
Leave
it.
it.
Yeah. So red pill in the wind is wrong. He says, oh yeah, why would Janet Jackson leave all that comfort? Because that's what comfort is to women is the money. The money buys them the comfort.
The thing
They
is
and I have no problem with that. That's contractually that works. She wants the money. That Saudi what was it? Was he a sheik or a prince or something?
He's a
me, it's
prince.
like
He was a
soda,
prince.
leave it.
She
The thing
wants
is
the money. He wants a child. They come to an agreement. They both fulfill they both fulfill their end of the contractual agreement. They will both walk away fine. That's perfect. What's wrong with
and
any of
the
that?
crazy thing about it is the crazy thing about it is it should never be that way. It should have never been that way.
But it is
That
that
is
way.
the
But
only
it is
reason it
that
should
way.
have been that way is like if it's first thing foremost, I can understand the marriage, how marriage was formed. It was more along the line to put peace between two warring families that absolutely were bloody battles, not two warring noble families. First things foremost.
They don't have to be. They don't have to be warring. In fact, it's the marriage that often stops them from warring because then they have a
Right.
vested interest, both of them.
The thing is like the way I see it is like it's crazy. The fact is like it should never be that type of descriptive contractual agreement in the first second place. Like if you I'm under the thing that if you build something with me to where you know, I'm gonna be with you. If I would have built something, started building something at a young age, and I'm seen as a joke, what makes you think that I'm going to want to basically that I'm going to basically agree to come back to save you?
Hmm. I understand.
Hold on, as you know, I'm a Black American man.
That's
I'm
another reason. That's another reason why I should. That's another reason why I say you should come. Let's plan it for next year. The Dominican Republic is half black. It's half white. It's Spanish speaking. It's a Hispanic overlay country. You would be the rich American. You wouldn't stand out for being black.
I
You'd fit
don't
right in,
want.
except you don't
I,
speak
I,
Spanish.
Look here. I don't want. Let's say I don't. Let's see. I was raised. Like I said, I'm pretty sure my grandmother and my grandfather knew each other before I was born. You know, before they decided, and they stuck together. My mom and my dad. Now, mind you, he had two other attempts before, but I'm pretty sure they knew each other.
Mm.
You know, the people of my age group, me hooking up with them, I would be disgusted. I mean, for honestly, I mean, I look here. I'm just gonna
You
say
know
this now.
what? I really think that's something you need to get over. You'd be surprised how fast you can get over something like that when you're with a beautiful young woman and it's hot. It's 100 degrees in the Caribbean seas, and she's hot and you're hot and everything is hot. And then I don't know, man. I don't know. This
Look,
you talking about. You sound like you're talking about like courtly love or something, man. It's
there
especially
ain't no
with
love. It's already that's dead. That part of me is dead. That part of me is dead. It's dead. It's as dead as about as dead as my Johnson. But then again, hey, it's dead. You know that part of me is dead, flat out.
Yeah, I think if you made the effort to travel, let's say again, it doesn't matter where. There's a number of places. I would say the Dominican Republic. That's where I'm going. You know, I really think you would have a different set of experiences, and it would expand your mind. And you'd start thinking, wow, and for a third of the price. I mean, it's so cheap in the Dominican Republic. You can go to a nice sit down restaurant and spend like $4. When here in America, you'd spend $40 per plate per
Right.
person. Everything's easy. You're the rich guy. You don't stand out because most people. I think it's like a 60-40 split. I think it's like 60% black, 40% white. You would fit in. Of course, you don't speak Spanish. Well, I'd recommend you start learning Spanish, but that's another issue entirely. It's just go. Do you remember a guy called the Thinking Man's Templar? The Thinking
Yeah.
Man's Templar.
Yeah. I remember a lot of
Okay.
those people that came through the manosphere. I remember when Angry MGTOW was when he was transitioning into whatever he calls himself now. You
Angry
know,
something. Yeah, he calls himself
and
Angry something.
he used to
What's his
use,
name? The Thinking Man's Templar. He talks all about it. I was just on one of his streams a couple weeks ago, and he talks about how you know it, it's unbelievable how different it is. It's like every everyone treats him differently in Brazil. He's treated with respect everywhere he goes, and then even worse or even better, how everyone look at it. The second the women find out he's from America, they think that he's loaded, and because they want to steal his money, they treat him nice. But he's already armed with that knowledge. But he's still, at the end of the day, he prefers to be treated nice, even if it's phony, than being treated like shit in his own
I
country. He
prefer
he left. He's gone. He expated. He's never coming back. He said it. He was a trucker here in the States, and now he lives in Brazil, and that's how it is, and that's how he likes it.
Good on him.
Yeah,
yeah.
good on him. And so maybe you should try something like that. I highly recommend it.
That's if anything, it's gonna be if I try anything, it's gonna be after I pay this house off. You know, and I kind of have a love with motorcycles. You know, right now.
Huh.
So do I,
So
but I mean, that's another thing about MGTOW we talk about is financial independence. I don't know why you would buy a house. I mean, you should have bought like a two flat or a three flat,
the
get
thing is,
someone
like,
renting the other unit, and then But
the thing
whatever.
is,
What's that?
I know. I mean, I understand, but it's like the house has potential to make me money. You know, after I pay it
No, no,
off.
no, 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 no. Houses don't make you money.
Yeah,
Houses cost money. Houses
right. But if
houses
you rent
are
it out,
houses are a status symbol.
but if you rent it out, you can actually make money off of it if you rent
Right,
it
but
out.
you're not but you're not renting it out. You're living in it, right?
Yeah, damn straight I'm living in it. That's the second time I've cussed on this channel.
Nah, that's
In a
all
long
right.
time.
Yeah, I mean, if if you buy like a two flat or whatever, two flat is up and up, up and down, side by side is a duplex, two flat. You live in one unit, you rent out the other. Now you're living for free. If you buy
For
a three
me,
unit, if you buy a 3 unit, you live in one unit, you rent out the other two. Now it's making you money. But the point
right.
is, like, a single, it's called a single family home. A single family home does not make you money, at least not while you live in it. It's a status symbol.
Well, I see it, I can afford it. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I'll take my status symbol. I like my status symbol.
yeah.
You
Well,
know.
plus you're helping your sister. I'm assuming you said she lives with you. I'm assuming she lives with you in that house.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, we look
Did she
after each
did she
other.
pay did she pay you rent, or who's the who in whose name is the property?
On mine. But she helped.
Did she pay
She
you
helped.
rent, or did she live there for free?
I'm in a truck. I'm a truck driver. Like, look, she basically. I'll explain the situation. She saved my ass when I was homeless. You know, when I was homeless and living in my Jeep, a 2002 Jeep Wrangler. Imagine living in a Jeep Wrangler, 5-speed manual.
I really like the Wrangler Sport. I really like that car.
It was a
That's
two. It
that's
was
not
a.
exactly a big car.
I'm living in a 2-door Jeep Wrangler. Think about that. A 2-door Jeep Wrangler. That's smaller than my current SUV.
Yeah.
Yeah. That take, like I said, yeah. Living in a 2-door Jeep Wrangler with your stuff that you've gathered from the military.
I forget what state do you live in again? I know it's in the South, isn't it? Like,
Pennsylvania. It was Pennsylvania.
oh, Pennsylvania. Okay, I thought it was the South. I thought you lived in the Carolinas, like
No, no,
flying a
no.
big out.
No, I mean, I go through the Carolinas a lot, a lot. I mean, a whole lot. But I live up in Pennsylvania. For me, it's like, it's along the lines of like, she saw my situation before. She saw my situation, and I was trying to hide it. I believe that. I mean, I'm under the things like, I will not ask for help.
Yeah.
And
Well, maybe you should consider in a year or 2 years, once you have more and more equity build up into that property, so paying it down every month. Maybe consider selling it and buying like a 2 unit or a 3 unit, and you can live with your sister in the top apartment and landlord the bottom two, and then you're living for free.
yeah, but for me, it's like, yeah, I like my status symbol. It's something that I like to look. It's something that I like to be in. I maybe in a couple years when I save money, I could buy a 2-3 flat, and that'll pay for my status symbol.
Mm-hmm.
But I worked my ass off for that status symbol.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. You got a house, and I'm sure it's got a garage, and
No, I don't need a garage. I just basically need. This is all this. This is pretty much what I need. It's pretty much all I need.
Yeah.
It's pretty much all I need. I'm okay with this. I'm more than okay with this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'll make the point. Consider escort maxing, picking up girls. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing right now.
Man, you fooling. You need to stop.
I swear to God, I'm laying in bed.
Time.
Hey,
I'm
look,
laying in bed right now with the girl.
Look here,
I love you.
that look here. That just for me that just invites too much, you know. But hey, to each its own. I'm not gonna knock it, you know.
I get 8 days off a month. I get, you know,
Mhm.
I work, I don't know, between 55 and 60 hours a week, Monday through Friday.
Mm.
Trucking with long hours. I got my Saturdays off, man.
So, if the house is a status symbol, what is a dog?
Mhm.
Yeah, I want a dog. My apartment complex won't allow me to have a dog, but if I could, I would have a dog.
Well, I have a dog. Coda. Good boy. Like I said, I got a dog. You know? So my status symbol allows me to have a dog, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And yes, a two flat will allow me to have a dog, but if I have a dog, then I have to let other people have a dog, and yeah,
Take on that risk.
yeah, and that's not a risk that I want to try to take, you know.
Well,
Yeah, but
you
I
should tell
gotta.
me.
I'm feeling this Johnny. I'm feeling this Walker, and I need to eat something to soak up some of this Walker. I want to, you know, and get me some sleep.
Yeah, that sounds good. I was about to say, I think I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna take off too, just to finish that idea, or just to reiterate that idea. Just I don't know, man. Think about it. What I say is get money, get hoes, get respect. Get money, get hoes, get respect.
I'll consider it. I'll definitely consider.
You're already making the money. That's the hard part. What is wrong with spending? I basically allot $5,000 a year, between $4,000 and $6,000 a year. Let's call it 5,000 for escort maxing. It's just that simple, I only pay 500. I only pay $575 a month in rent. I drive a small, tiny car. You guys ever hear the Chevy Spark? You ever hear the Spark?
Yeah.
Tiny little car. It gets mistaken for the smart car all the time. Been paid off for years. I could probably afford a $30,000 car if I wanted to, but there's no point. I drive around a small piece of shit. I wear used clothes. All my furniture is used from, what's that called in Spanish? It's segundas. What are they called? Goodwill. Yeah, Goodwill. I wear clothes from Goodwill. My women are used. It's all, I mean,
Hey.
You stupid.
All right, I think I got myself in
Stupid,
trouble.
man. You walk right into that.
I'll exit stage right.
Yeah.
It's good
I'm gonna
talking
cut
to you
this
guys.
last thing short.
All right. Well, listen, Red Pill in the Wind. Think about again, just to reiterate one more time. Think about getting that passport, man. You and me, man. Let's go. I'm serious. You and me, man. Let's go to the Dominican Republic, man. I'll rent. We could rent a place on the beach for a week, man. Deep sea diving, restaurants every night, money, hoes, cars, and clothes, man. Think about it.
Alrighty.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace out.
Oh.
But on that note, I'm gonna leave. I'll call you Psychic Soap.
Yeah, go see this fool's brown shoes from here, but yeah.
But on that note, we're cutting this live stream short. I would like to leave you with this. Well, let's see. The temperature is at operating temperature. The AC is on. The battery is charged. Plenty of fuel. Oil pressure's good. Engine's running.
But I am fucked, but we are fucking roasting in this damn truck. Signing off.
This is Red Pill to Win, signing off.
Doo-doo-doo.